This video is on what if Naruto had his parents' knowledge and experience part 2. The like goal for this video is 30 likes. Sooner the like goal is meet sooner I will upload the next part for this what if. If you enjoy this what if, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Disclaimer, I don't own Naruto nor this fanfic. Hiruzen Sarutobi looked over the council room and could practically feel the headache coming. A week ago Kumagakure tried to kidnap the Hyuga clan heir, Hinata Hyuga, the clan head. Hayashi Hyuga saved her by killing the enemy. Kumo then denied all accusations of kidnapping and demanded the body of Hayashi for the death of their ninja, since the ninja was in Konoha for a peace conference. Not willing to risk a new war, Hisashi Hyuga, the clan head's twin brother, decided to take his place as Kumo couldn't tell the difference. It also saved the clan secrets, since he had the cursed seal, Caged Bird. It seals the Byakugan open death. It was yesterday that the clan head's brother body was taken back to Kumo, and now they wanted to discuss how to react. They couldn't just let this slide since it would motivate others to follow this example, but they couldn't attack either, as they don't have a chance of winning without the fear that other villages could use their weakened state to attack. We should send a small team to assassinate the Raikage, one of the civilian members said. The Shinobi side wanted to roll their eyes at the suggestion. They couldn't reply thought as the door to the council room opened. Coming in was a boy around the age of 8. He had spiky blonde hair and azure blue eyes. He wore black and blue pants and Shinobi sandals. He had a long-sleeved black t-shirt. Above it he wore a complete golden coat with a red spiral on the back. They all knew who this was. It was their Jinchuriki Naruto Uzumaki. They watched as the small boy walked to the table and took an open seat. They couldn't react as they all thought the same. The fourth has come back to them. Sorry for being late. That snapped them all out of their thoughts. What the hell are you doing here, demon? A civilian shouted. They were surprised as Naruto didn't even flinch. You don't have to shout, you know. This room isn't that big that you need to raise your voice, Naruto calmly said, and some clan heads snickered at his remark. The civilian turned red from embarrassment and booed, take this demon out of the room, but the Hokage merely raised his hand and nobody came. He sighed as his headache was getting bigger. Naruto, may I ask what you are doing here? He tried to ask patiently. Well, this meeting is about our reaction to Kumo, and as the Uzumaki clan head it is in my right to have a say in the matter. The Shinobi side were shocked that a child this young knew of their situation and that he also had found out about his clan. Uzumaki, never heard of them, a civilian said. Well, it was a fairly powerful clan. They were destroyed in Second World War with the combined power of Kumo and Iwa. Konoha was their ally to this time, but Coolnati reached them fast enough to help. That's the reason why Konoha Shinobi still have the red spiral on their uniforms. It is to honor the alliance they once had. Again, shock, this much knowledge for an 8-year-old. So let us discuss how we should react. Naruto started but was interrupted as Fugaku, the Uchiha clan head, slammed his fist on the table. You brat, shut up and leave this room, so that we adults can talk, he said, activating his Sharingan. What next came shocked them as boy didn't he react at all. They were staring at each other before Naruto sighed. Are you saying that you want to deny me my rightful seat in this council? Naruto asked them all. Most of the people nodded. The Hokage was still processing that Naruto was like a complete other person. Gone was the happy boy with the orange jumpsuit. There sitting was a serious and knowledgeable boy. But sadly it was just that, a boy. Naruto, you are too young and unexperienced to have a seat, the Hokage said. I see. I really didn't wanted to use this, but you left me no choice. All Shinobi in the room jumped from their seats in a defensive position, as Naruto flew through about 100 hand signs and released a massive amount of chakra. What did you do, boy? Danzo demanded, as he had never seen a jutsu that needed this amount of hand signs. You will find out in about a minute. But I will give you a chance to figure it out before. You all know that the clans in Konoha have two roles. One is military power and the second is economical. The Nara clan for one provide us with medical herbs. The Akimaki clan have their restaurants and the Uchiha with the police force. What do you think could the Uzumaki clan provide the village with? Naruto asked calmly. They all thought about what the dead Uzumaki clan could do. They didn't know much about the clan and had no idea what they did. Shikaku was the first one to notice. No, 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 how troublesome. You can't be serious, Naruto-kun, Shikaku said with a look of horror, that gave the other council members a slight fear. They wanted to know what it was, when the door flew open with a pale shinobi. Hokage-sama, the village barrier is slowly fading now. This made them all pale. The barrier was the most important defense system they had against outside enemies. The village was way too big without it. They would lose half of their military force just to guard the borders. The next action didn't even had to be voiced out, as Shikaku used his shadow controlling jutsu to bind Naruto and Inoichi, the Yamanaka clan head, used his mind transferring jutsu. For a second they thought it worked since Naruto didn't react at all, but a second later a massive wave of chakra exploded out of Naruto, sending most of them flying backwards. Now this is disappointing. Not only are you denying me my rightful seat, but now you're also attacking me, Naruto said as calmly as before. We wouldn't have if you didn't endanger the village, but you put us in this situation, Brett Fugaku said. Now, I just did what every one of your clans would have done if the council denied them their rightful place. The question is, are you desperate enough to deny me that you would lose your biggest security system? Naruto asked. No one knew how to respond to a threat like that. They were outplayed by a child and it didn't sit well with them, but they couldn't do anything for the time being. Thought so. Now that I have clan head status, how are going to react to Kumo? Naruto asked calmly as he took his seat again. All the clan heads looked at their Hokage to decide if this was okay or not. Letting a child to have a vote in the village future was dangerous. When Danzo or the other elders managed to manipulate him, seeing that we didn't have the power for a world war and that Hisashi has the caged bird seal, it would be best to do nothing, Chibiuburame said, surprising them all as he normally didn't speak at all. True, but it will also give them opportunity to study the seal. It will also give other countries the impression that we are too weak to protect our own clan heads, Naruto said. The latter may be true and it could be possible dangerous for us, but I don't see how the seal is that important, thought Tsume, Inuzuka clan head, said. Well, as a seal master it took me only one look to see a massive flaw in it, Naruto stated, and got so many funny faces that he couldn't help snort at them. What? Did you think that I would come in here without the skills to back me up? He asked, and again silence. Fine, then what is it? The Hokage finally asked, getting out of his shock. Easy, the seal works open death, sealing the Byakugan away. Now if they study the seal then they will come to the same conclusion as me, which is that you could just take it before killing the holder. That would lead to a massive Hyuga hunt, as now even the branch members are not safe anymore. This would of course lead to another war. They were all godsmacked. This was bad, and it was even worse that they didn't even know about this threat up until now. That a 8-year-old boy was pointing it out to them didn't help their pride. They were shinobi for many years now, the elite in the village, meant to lead and protect them, but it seemed that they had failed. We should send a team to get the body immediately, Inoichi said with urgent but calm tone. This is dangerous. What if they notice the infiltration team? It could give them even more intel on our village, as they would have to be high-level jonin for this mission, Shikaku said with a frown. There's also the possibility that they won't notice the flaw in the seal, as you all didn't notice it as well, a civilian said. The clan heads were a little insulted by the comment, but couldn't comment back as it was true. Wouldn't it be the safest option for the kid to make a new seal? A civilian asked, shocking them all again. They were losing their touch. If a civilian can come to the best option before them, this seems like the best option. Then it's decided Naruto will create new seals for the Hokage said, but was cut by Naruto. No, he simply said. They were all shocking for a second before hell broke loose. Brat, you better follow the Hokage's orders, you child. Demon brat, you better. They were cut off as a golden light appeared from Naruto, pinning the civilian against the wall. The shinobi couldn't help but stare at the golden substance as it screamed chakra into your face. Even the ones with weak sensibilities could feel that it was filled with it. Call me brat, child or demon again and I will make sure that you can't talk again. I'm a clan head now, If you insult me, the punishment will be death, Naruto said in a dangerous tone. Seconds later, the substance moved back to Naruto, surrounding him. Now, as to why, let's just say that I hold a grudge against 90% of this village and don't feel like doing them a favor, Naruto said, making them gap again. This was ridiculous as the boy was fairly powerful, but said boy was not attracted to the village, making him a high flight risk. They couldn't let this happen as the boy was already a seal master at the age of 8, they couldn't even imagine how powerful he might become. What are you talking about, Naruto-kun? The Hokage asked in a grandfatherly tone. Cut the crap, old man, we all knew that someone doesn't become Hokage with such an attribute. Also stop calling me Naruto, we are not close, so we will stick with Namikaze-san for all of you, he said, getting small gasps from around him, but just continued. In my 8 years of life, I have been beaten near death 16 times and almost assassinated 11 times. 2 of these attempts were made by Hyugas, so why should I help them? Naruto asked. A deadly silent room. The boy knew that he was the son of the 4th Hokage's class secret, and they had no argument as to why he should even lift a finger for them. Namikaze-san, how did you obtain this information? Hiruzen asked. Oh please. When I came in, the first thing you probably thought is that Minato had somehow time traveled. I mean, I look almost perfectly like him. The better question is how the son of a hero had to live from nothing when I know that my dad was filthy rich. How come that all villagers hate me, saving their fucking lives each fucking day? How come that I'm at the academy for 2 years now and the teachers didn't even bother to teach me how to read and write? Anyway, I won't destroy this village since there were some kind people. The question stands thought, how come that the council fucked up this much, and would that endanger the Jinchurika's loyalty to the village? Dead silence, as if most of them looked away in shame and guilt. Others were trying to come up with an answer that wouldn't let them look like idiots. Not answering, huh? Fine, then I will leave this village. Do not worry, as I will set the barrier up again and won't attack out of revenge or something like this, Naruto said. I'm so sorry for the pain you felt up until now. But the Hokage couldn't finish as Naruto interrupted him. But you can't let me leave. I know that the Baijiu is an important weapon for the village in case a war breaks loose. I'm not dumb, old man. But let's be honest, I don't like this village, and that for a good reason, but I also won't destroy it. It would be disrespectful to my parents and all people who sacrificed their lives for it. But my decision to help this village will be decided by my next question. What do you want to know? The Hokage asked, but Naruto ignored him as he looked at Shikaku and Shibi. I would like to know why you two helped me when you thought nobody was looking. The money and food you left by my door, why? We Aburame know how it is to be judged for something that lives inside us. We also know that it doesn't define who we are, what kind of person you are. That's why I helped you, Shibi said. I know all the time that you were the son of the 4th. The son of my friend, just like you said earlier, you two looked almost exactly the same. Minato was a good friend of mine and I want to be able to look into his eyes the day I die, so I did everything I could without breaking the law, Shikaku said. Thanks, you two, you did more than enough. I'm willing to help. I can not only solve our problem with Kumo, but I can also turn it in our favor. If I solve this, then I can guarantee you that other villages won't even think about attacking us. Our economy will rise since more missions will be sent to Konohagakure, but my help comes with conditions, Naruto said calmly as looked at the others. They all tried to find out a way to not only solve the problem for a possible war, but also turn it in their favor. The only solution they could think of would be a monstrous demonstration of strength. But they didn't have anyone that could do something like this. What kind of conditions are we talking about? The Hyuga clan head asked. I want my heritage released as the son of the 4th and my status as Jinchuriki. I want the 11 people executed that tried to kill me. I also want that you explain to the civilian how sealing works, so that even the dumbest one can tell the difference between a kunai and a scroll. Furthermore, I want the same rights as the Sanin to come and go how I please. If you accept these conditions, I will help you out and come back in 2 years to check on the village, Naruto stated. Most of the Shinobi site considered it. The civilian side wasn't too happy but kept quiet as they know not to anger the boy even more right now. What happens when we don't accept these conditions? The Uchiha asked. Nothing, I will even put the barrier up again, as long as I have my position as clan head. They were all relieved, but I won't help you with this problem and if the villagers don't change. Let's just say that everyone's patience has a limit. They all knew what that meant. The villagers wouldn't change and that could lead to a very powerful shinobi running amok. I think it's best to agree with his demands. They are reasonable and he will stay royal to Konohagakure. It's the least we can do after he suffered so much because of our ignorance. They were all shunned as the civilian. The head of the biggest shinobi company said that. Thanks, thought. Don't think that I haven't seen through you. Siding with me will bring your company in a much better position should I ever get even more political power. Thought I must congratulate you for your quick decision making for the better of your organization, Naruto said, thoughtful. Again they were shocked. The kid was scary. He wasn't just powerful, but also pretty smart to see this through so quickly. I will accept your conditions, Namikaze-san, the Hokage said, interrupting them all. Perfect, I will immediately leave and handle Konohagakure. We see us in 2 years then. And with that, Naruto was out. The shinobi were staring at each other to see if someone of them had any clue on the boy, but it didn't seem so. All their heads shot to the door as a monstrous amount of chakra was set free. It was so large and dense that they doubted that entire village had this much chakra. They all went out to see Naruto standing on a huge wolf. It was made out of his golden substance. They watched as the wolf took off through the air. The massive wolf was getting smaller and smaller as he and Naruto got higher. They all had to shut their eyes as the entire sky was suddenly filled with the golden glowing substance. Their eyes adjusted slowly and they saw countless numbers of wolves formed out of the gold. It was breathtaking to watch as all wolves started to run to Kumo's direction. Now we at least know how he wants to handle Kumo, Shikaku said as he closed the Hokage's jaw. It had been 2 years since Naruto had left the village and he had to say that he loved his life outside. No pain or fear and mostly no dumb villagers. He was on his way back to the village as he had promised. It was already 2 years and he couldn't really believe it. Sure, he had grown a bit more than normal people would think, thanks to a new seal, but he was still small. He looked like 12 instead of 10, but still a child. He looked at the bingo book again as a smile came up. It was the bingo book of Kumo and he was still on the front page. He really liked the picture of him. It was made before he even reached the Kumo. He was standing on top of his golden wolf looking down on them from the sky. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, aka Konoha's Golden Cage. Rank, SS. Known relations, son of the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Nature affinities, water, unconfirmed. Known jutsu, he can control a golden glowing substance, nothing more is confirmed. He is a Jinchu Uriki. Orders, don't attack, he won't attack you without provocation. He smiled reading this. They had given him the double S rank, something he was pretty proud of, since even Ichi didn't got it and the man killed the entire Uchiha clan. They had also minimal to no information about him. Sure, he didn't had that much of jutsus in his arsenal, but they didn't even figure out that the golden substance was just water mixed with his kibis and natural chakra. He could perfectly remember how he got his power and knowledge. He was 5 years old and again almost killed, but this time the villagers were even more cruel than before. This resulted in him wanting to rip off the seal. He was about to do that, letting the kibi free. He was stopped. Thought his parents had sealed chakra into the seal for the day he needed help to tame the Bajuu. What they saw shocked them as they didn't see a young man, but a child bordering to the line of death. Naruto told them how his life was and they were furious and disappointed. They let him swear to never harm the village, but they said that he was free to go and leave the village behind. Minato then used the chakra they had stored to fight the kibi to transfer their knowledge and experience to Naruto. It wasn't long after that Naruto started to make plans to change his life. He knew that he couldn't use the Hiraishin no Jutsu as good as Minato, so he created his own seal, something unique to him, something only a Jinchu Uriki and Seal Master could archive. The seal was simple, It absorbed and stored things away. The only difference is that this seal is bottomless, so he started storing water into it. He had to be careful that other ninjas didn't see him, but he soon found out that he pretty much outclassed them all with the knowledge of his parents. He made a deal with the Kyubi to get his chakra. He would take so much a day as the beast could regenerate, and he would redecorate his mind so that wasn't a sewer. Now his mindscape was an endless grassland and the Kyubi could move around how he wanted, but it still was a prison. With the Bajuu chakra, he mixed it with his own unnatural chakra to get the golden glow. Mixing this with the water he absorbed, and he got the perfect defense. Nothing could penetrate this water if it doesn't had more chakra than him, and that was pretty hard to get, since he never lost anything. The only time he needed chakra was to unseal and reseal the water from his seal, but that was minimal, and he was adding chakra on daily basis, meaning that his chakra level was equal to 2 entire villages right now. Naruto looked up when the wolf he was riding stopped. Looking at the massive gate, he realized that he finally reached his destination. The 2 Chunin guards looked shaken as the giant wolf looked down on them. Naruto jumped down and reformed the wolf into smaller sized ones. The Chunin of course knew who he was. They doubted that there was a ninja in this village or any other that hadn't heard of the young boy with the strength of a cage, if not more. The 2 checked if he wasn't under some kind of henjutsu or jinjutsu. "It's nice to have you back, Namikaze-san," they said, bowing. Naruto acknowledges them with a short nod as he walked in. The village hadn't changed that much in the 2 years he had left. Thought the stairs now were more curious than hateful. Mostly thought because of the 2 golden wolves that accompanied him. He was slowly getting uncomfortable with the attention he got. Sure, he was used to staring, but that was just small groups of ninjas and they know how to be discreet. Thought getting stares from even civilian made him nervous. Being famous in the ninja world was acceptable, as they were always small groups with mostly 4 people at most, and he had avoided the big villages the last 2 years. He decided that he saw enough and jumped onto one of his wolves and rode straight to the Hokage office through the air. He jumped from his wolf through the window, sealing the water away in midair. The Hokage didn't even look at him as finished his paperwork. "Jiraiya, how many times did I tell you use the doe?" He couldn't finish as his gaze fell on the boy's form. "Naruto, you are back," the old Hokage exclaimed with a happy tone. "It seems so, old man, but I won't stay long. I still haven't seen all of the world," Naruto said, and the old man sighed. How come that all the powerful shinobi they had left the village? Is this place this bad to stay here? How long will you stay? He asked with a long suffocating sigh. "A week, maybe 2, but we can talk over something like this later. Tell me, how is the village doing? I heard about the Uchiha massacre. Even thought the massacre took a good part of our military force. It still runs. We are lucky that the Uchiha didn't do much mission outside and instead took their job as police force more seriously." "I see, that is good to hear. And the crime rate, has it increased?" Naruto asked calmly as he took the tea the secretary had brought. "It has increased, but it is still tolerable. We are lucky that other villages are still afraid of your power, or they could have attacked already," the Hokage said with a meaningful look. "Don't look at me like that, old man. I will not use so much power again. My body isn't able to control so much power yet. Last time I needed a month to recover and my power is still growing. Maybe in a year or 2 I will be able to handle this amount of chakra without backlash. For the time being you have to work with my reputation alone," Naruto explained as he finished his tea. The old man was about to ask something when someone knocked and came in at the same time. "Hokage-sama, there are some differences we need to talk about. I need more money in my jonin," he said, but stopped as he saw the other person in the room. "Shikaku," Naruto said with a nod. "Ah, has it already been 2 years? It's nice to see you well, Namikaze-san," Shikaku said with a smile on his face. "You don't have to be so formal with me, Shikaku. You after all saved my life a few times. If you say so, do you have a place to stay? If not, you are always welcome in the Nara compound. Why don't you come for dinner? My wife always wanted to know you and I wanted to introduce you to my son." "Sure, he is my age after all. I will most likely work with him in a few years," Naruto said. That was the thing I wanted to ask you, Naruto, the Hokage interrupted. It would be good for you to show your face to the next generation. The ninjas present 2 years ago know you, but our future generation has no idea who you are or what you stand for, the old man said. If the Hokage asks me to, I will visit the academy for a day or two, he said to Hiruzen, who sighed relieved. It was hard to order someone around who was as strong if not stronger than you. If you don't mind, Shikaku, I would like to speak with the Hokage in private. We can catch up at dinner, Naruto said, and Shikaku didn't even say anything as moved out. As I was saying, you will have to work with my reputation for now, old man. I'm already speeding up my growing, but it still will be a year or two until I can unleash this kind of power without a backlash, Naruto explained. I see. How long will you be gone again? Hiruzen asked. Don't know yet, a year or two again, who knows, but this time I will be doing missions for the village. I'm after all a shinobi and can't leave my responsibilities behind forever. I will also leave the scroll, Naruto said, handing a small scroll to the Hokage. It sends a signal. Burn it and I will immediately come back. The Hokage was relieved that Naruto was willing to help them this much, even thought that their past actions weren't that kind for Naruto. The scroll also helped as they had the option to call him back at any time. Their conversation lasted for 3 hours, speaking about things like politics and economy, but also about the village's security. It was already 7 when Naruto finally knocked at the main house of the Nara compound. He waited for a minute until the door was opened by a bored-looking boy. He seemed to be the same age as Naruto and was a total copy of Shikaku. Who are you? That made him realize that he was staring at the boy. I'm Naruto, your father invited me for dinner. How troublesome. Come in. The boy moved aside and he took his sandals off. The house wasn't that big, it was old-fashioned but noble. He followed the boy until they reached the backyard. My dad isn't home yet, but he told me that you would come and that I should talk to you. Never seen the old man talk so respectful over someone before. So who are you? The boy asked with a suspicious gaze. Naruto just shrugged as he lay down on the grass to watch the sky. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, but shouldn't you give me your name? Chibi Shikaku. I'm Shikamaru and I'm not small, you are just a head taller than me. If I reach your age we would probably be the same height, Shikamaru said with a small pout. Probably not, because if I have understand the information correctly then we are the same age now. The other boy was miffed. How come that someone his age was already this tall? Outside he was pretty decent in hiding his thought with his lazy and bored expression, but inside he was pouting. He looked at Naruto lying there, looking up the sky. Was he cloud watching like he did, or was he just ignoring him? After some time he decided to just lay down and watch the clouds. It didn't even take 10 minutes until he broke under his curiosity. So why are you here? Naruto didn't respond as he thought about an answer, thought there isn't really a logical reason behind his visit. I'm not sure myself, you could say that your dad and me are kind of friends. I won't stay long in the village and we want to use the time to catch up. So are you genius or something like that? I don't see my father befriend you otherwise. Nah, I'm smart sure, but I don't think I'm smart enough to match myself against an Nara. Naruto replied with a calm tone. Why don't we test that theory in a match of shogi? There aren't much clouds to watch right now anyway. Sure, but for the future, I'm watching the sky and not just the clouds. Shikamaru thought about what else there was to watch, but realized that other people also didn't understand why he watched the clouds. Each person finds their beauty in their own things. No genius my ass, you wipe the floor with me, Shikamaru said with a glare. How on earth could he lose so tiredly? This guy was playing way too aggressive, but still had a decent defense. Experience and intelligence are two complete different things. I beat you because you are lacking game experience. If you would play more then you would have seen my strategy. Nevertheless you play pretty good. Your father is probably pretty proud of you, Naruto said, and Shikamaru blushed a little. Troublesome, he murmured out. I must agree with Naruto. You did pretty good, said the voice of Shikaku from the left corner. Troublesome, why didn't you come out before? He is your friend, Shikamaru said with small glare, as was still salty over his loss. Stop sulking, it doesn't suit a man, Shikaku said as slapped Shikamaru on the back, sending him to the ground. Naruto snickered a little as Shikamaru swiped the dirt from his face, glaring at his dad. My wife should be done making dinner and is probably already waiting for us, Shikaku continued without noticing the glare he got. The dining room was small, but had a warm atmosphere. Shikaku's wife, Yoshino Nara, was a beautiful woman in her mid-30s, with brown hair. Thought she seemed a bit angry. Shikaku, why the hell are you so late? Dinner is already getting cold, she said, hitting him on the head. That of course got a small snicker from Shikamaru, that is until she looked at him. Troublesome. I was by the academy to sort things out with Naruto. Stay there, Shikaku answered, nursing his head. So he will be my classmate or something? Shikamaru asked, but gulped when he saw the smirk on his father's face. His father was a man that never showed his victory until the very end. Seeing it now meant something troublesome was going to happen. Not entirely correct. I spoke with Ruka-san. He and I agreed that Naruto will teach your class for a week. Shikamaru could hear Naruto choke on his food besides him, thought he wasn't much better as he had spilled his water over his table. I'm sorry, what? Naruto lamely asked. You heard me. You are the strongest shinobi we have in this village, a seal master on top. It would be a waste to not use such resources. Shikamaru was gaping like a fish. This boy was the strongest shinobi. How on earth could someone as young as him reach the strength to compete with the top jonin of the village? But what interested him even more was the way his father was sitting. To people outside of the family it would seem relaxed. Thought he could see how his father was forcing his body to relax, and it seemed Naruto also saw it. That are pretty logical reasons. Shikaku let a breath of relief wash out of him. Thought, is that all the reasons for my position, Shikaku? Naruto asked, and Shikamaru could see how his father paled a bit. Of course, we wanted you to bond with your generation, but you were too advanced, so we compromised at teaching. His father was looking paler with each passing second. Let us try this again, Nara. We both know that your clan is blessed with intelligence, but acting sure is not included. The only thing that is stopping me right now from pressing you against a wall is that you saved my life for a few times. Now explain before I lose my patience. Shikamaru didn't quite understand how someone can threaten someone else and be so entirely calm by doing it. The council had a meeting 2 hours ago and decided that we should find out more about your powers. Shikaku was looking away in guilt. I see, so they think that when some snotty brat asks about my techniques that I will spill them. I'm finished for today. Thanks for the food, Yoshino-san. Shikamaru, could you show me the guest room? Shikamaru looked at his mother for a second but stood up as she nodded. Naruto, could you forgive me this once? The tone was already pleading, but his father took it up the next level as he bowed to Naruto. That was something Shikamaru had never seen before. His father as clan had never bowed to anyone other than the Hokage. I was taught to forgive, but not to forget. Trust is something to be earned. It was your first time. The council, though, this isn't just about me, but my authority as clan head as well. You can inform the council that they will face the consequences of their actions. That includes the Hokage. Shikamaru was trying to process how important Naruto was to not only threaten a clan head, but also to give out punishment against the Hokage himself. He was already in his bed, but he couldn't sleep as he tried to gain as much information about Naruto as possible. He knew that Naruto was a clan head and that the council had undermined his authority and power as such, by holding a meeting without informing him. He also knew that Naruto is not only powerful and but pretty intelligent himself, but aside from that, he seemed like a really laid-back and chilled-out guy. Tomorrow Naruto would teach them. It was the first time in years that something really caught his interest. Tomorrow he would get more answers to his questions about the Enigma Naruto Uzumaki Nami case. This was it. He was standing in front of the door, that would doom his life for the next week. Naruto couldn't believe that he was even here. He had ignored all calls of the Hokage to meet him, and he would do so until the old man orders him. He was assigned as a teacher for sealing and taijutsu. They haven't seen him use both and wanted probably to see what he was capable of. His sealing was on the highest level, that even his mother and father couldn't reach. but his taijutsu was all that he had from his parents left and he didn't want to change it. A loud crushing sound brought him back from his thoughts and all he could do was sigh. This would be one hell of a week. He was at least allowed to teach how he liked it. He let out a last long sigh before he opened the door. Inside looked like a battlefield, children running around. They screamed, yelled and some even slept in this mess. Thought they all stopped when they heard the door open and blinked. Coming in was a boy looking about 1 or 2 years older than them. He wore complete black with a golden coat and golden spiky hair. "Who are you?" Kiba asked. He was the heir to the Inuzuka clan. They had Nin dogs as partners, or better known as Ninken. The boy just ignored the question until he reached the front. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze and I will be your teacher in sealing and taijutsu. Now take a seat." It was said with so much authority that the children didn't doubt him at all. It was a useful skill he learned over the years and it was a necessary skill you had to learn. Nobody took someone seriously when they looked like some brat. So he had to learn how to be in control of adults. Needless to say that it worked on some children even better. Even Shikamaru looked awake. "Now I would like to start with the attendance list, but we will change it. Instead of me you will say your name, with that I can at least try to get all your names. Now we start from the left." Nara Shikamaru, the boy yawned out. A Kamuki Chaji, a stronger build boy, sat eating a pack of chips. Shinokin, the boy, was obviously a civilian, but had more muscle mass than some of the clan kids. And Yuzuka Kiba, the boy, replied, playing with his Ninken. Enough, they all paled as the voice shook them. "This is a military school. You are here to learn discipline and skills to survive in the world of ninjas. The Shinobi world isn't a place to play around, it's a world where you kill or get killed. You all better pay attention or you will die after graduation." "Did I make myself clear?" Naruto asked and they nodded. "Now let's start with how you reply to a question. We aren't in some civilian school. If someone with higher rank asks you something, then you answer with sir or sensei or Hokage-sama, clear?" "Yes, sensei," they all replied. "Good. Now on how you are sitting. I don't care if the other teachers allow you how you are right now, but this isn't going to work with me. When I teach, then you will all sit straight and give me the highest attention. That means no naps, food, Ninken or other distractions. Clear?" "Yes, sensei," they said again, sitting straight with their eyes fixed on Naruto. "Good. Now start again," Naruto said, taking out the class list to check if everyone was there. Nara Shikamaru, a Kamuki Chaji, Shinoken, and Yuzuka Kib. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. Yamanaka Ino. Hyuga Hinata. It seems that 4 students are missing: Akaya Sasuke, Tiki Lin, Haruno Sakura and Nomaki Yon. Do any of you know why they are not here? They are all at the hospital with a heavy fever, sensei. They will most likely be away for 2 weeks, Ino answered. It can't be helped then. I will do sealing lessons today and tomorrow. The remaining 3 days will be used for taijutsu. Any questions? Hands shot up instantly, but Kiba didn't care as he shot his question out. Yay, I have one. What good is that sealing stuff? As long as I know it's only used to store weapons away and we can buy this stuff, he yelled out. Kiba, sit. The boy in question shot back to his seat in a second. 2-hour detention, and this is a warning. Should any of you interrupt me again, then there will be more than just detention. Now to your question. Sealing is one of the most powerful shinobi arts. The only reason nobody uses it is because it's also one of the most difficult arts to perform and learn. Any questions up until now? Shikamaru's hand slowly lifted, shocking all his friends. Shikamaru never took interest in anything, nevertheless Naruto nodded. I just wanted to know on how you learned it. I mean, if even adults with years of experience couldn't learn it, how come that you, someone our age, has already mastered it? It is indeed a very difficult art to learn, not only from the material but also that there is no teacher around. Sealing in the right hands and enough imagination has no limits in what it can archive. The best example would be the 4th Hokage. He used a combination between sealing and ninjutsu to teleport. The result is called Fuuin Jutsu. Anybody here who knows the name of the jutsu of the fourth? The boy besides Chaji raised his hand. Can, right? Yes, sensei. Hirshin no jutsu? That is correct. He wanted to continue but Shikamaru again raised his hand. Yes, Shikamaru? You didn't answer my question, sensei. Who taught you sealing? Naruto wasn't going to answer that question as it would tell the council how he got his powers. But he couldn't outright refuse. That is a secret, but I will make a deal with all of you. If someone of you should create a new high-level seal, then I will answer you any question you have. Now back to sealing. If you want to make a seal, then your calligraphy must be perfect. Not good, not okay, no, I mean perfect. One wrong move and your simple storage seal can explode into your face. Now we start with your handwriting. Naruto didn't know that he had motivated Shikamaru to a dangerous point with his deal. The boy took all information in over the 2 days Naruto taught sealing. He secretly practiced in his room with a book he got from the library. Thought over the time he had to say that sealing was even more interesting. Ninjas uses hand signs to mold chakra. Sealing is a 2-level molding process it seemed. Each line and symbol he draw was used to molding the chakra in a certain way. On top of that are the hand signs that are used to perform the jutsu. Today thought was the day Naruto would teach them taijutsu, and if he had to be honest, he sucked at it. What could he do? It was way too troublesome to move around like this. He couldn't find it in him to motivate himself to do more in this kind of stuff. A loud bang brought him back to the world of living. Looking up he could see Naruto standing in the doorway. You are all still too noisy. You are here to be trained as ninjas. Ninjas are silent killers. You all better learn to be quiet. Now out with you, we will start taijutsu. Naruto ordered them and they all shot out of their seats to the training ground behind the academy. They waited for a minute, whispering with each other until Naruto and Ruka-sensei came out. They all know that something was wrong when Naruto-sensei looked over them with his judging gaze. Everyone line up in 4 lines, 2 lines boys and 2 lines girls, smallest to the front and tallest to the back. Now if you see me again, then you will immediately and most important as silent as possibly take this position. Clear? Naruto asked with a dangerous tone. Yes, sensei, they all shot back in sync. Ruka-san, take your shirt off, Naruto asked calmly. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. What? They all yelled out with an almost exploding red head. I said take your shirt off. Your students should see what their goal is, Naruto said, ignoring the tomato-like red faces. Namikaze-san, I can't do that, it isn't take, he couldn't finish as Naruto interrupted him. I don't give a damn about how things are done here. It isn't even something sexual. They can see a male chest all the time when they go swimming in the sea. Now shirt off. The last words were without a doubt an order, and Ruka instantly took his Chunin vest and t-shirt off. He had broad defined shoulders and chest, but his stomach had a little bulge, showing that he had left the field far too long. Most of the children blushed as they stared at their teacher, trying to forget what they saw. It's not the best example, but he didn't do active field work for a long time. Now if you want to be Chunin, you should have at least half of his muscle mass. It doesn't have to be bulky like his, it can be lean and athletic. It all depends on your fighting style, but remember that no matter what style, your body should always be in top shape, because with physical training doesn't just develop our body, but our chakra system as well. Long story short, the better the body, the better your chakra system. You can put your shirt on now, Naruto said. We will start with endurance. Give me 20 laps around this field. The students all complained but did it nevertheless. Ruka started to twitch under the intense stare Naruto was giving him. What are you waiting for? You are clearly out of shape. Now hop go, Naruto said, starting to jog himself. Ruka did a double take at the instruction, but started running as Naruto raised an eyebrow at him. Naruto after 10 minutes saw a young boy sitting in bushes spying on them. He unsealed some of his water and floated the boy from behind to them. What exactly are you doing here, Brad? He asked the boy, as he lifted him by his shirt. Let me down, you ass, or he couldn't finish as Naruto shook him hard. I asked you what you are doing here, Naruto repeated. Let the honorable grandson down. Naruto looked over his shoulder to see a man in his mid-20s with sunglasses and a pretty dumb expression. thought he ignored the guy as he looked back at the kid. I will ask one last time, what are you doing here? You better answer me, Brett tore at this time. Naruto was the one being interrupted. Or what? I'm the grandson of the Hokage that couldn't even blink as Naruto pulled him close and put him over his knee in one move. The guy from behind wanted to interfere, but a giant wall of golden water came out of nowhere between them. Naruto then brought his hand down on the brat's ass and the boy screamed out. He spanked the poor boy for a minute. I don't give a damn who's who you are. I want to know what you are doing here. The boy was still sobbing, probably his first spanking. I was just watching, he sobbed out. Don't you have a class you should be in? What is even your name? Kanehamaru and CL class is so boring. I see. You will go back to class now, and if I ever see you skip again, then you better know that I used under a 1% of my strength. I also don't want to see you using that grandson bullshit again. Clear? The boy rapidly nodded. Good, now go back to class. The boy was gone the second he touched the ground. Naruto turned around just to see everyone staring at him. When exactly did I give you permission to stop? 20 again and no complaining, or you will face the same punishment as the boy. All students shut their mouths as they started to run again. To say that the last 3 days were hell for the students was a big understatement. Naruto had survived his week as teacher, and he had to say that he rather liked it. He used his weekend to teach Shikamaru more about Fuin Jutsu or more. The boy had demanded it. He said it was his payment for living there rent-free. He really didn't mind, as Shikamaru was rather talented in the art of sealing. This will be our last lesson. Naruto smiled at the sad look Shikamaru gave him. He sometimes forgets that the boy and him aren't just 10 years old, that they aren't normal children playing around. He was a prodigy child with the power to level villages, and Shikamaru was a genius with an even higher IQ than his father. But the two of them had one thing in common, and that was that they were incredibly lonely. They could understand each other and know what the other was going through. Both of them were under the high pressure to succeed. I will give you a parting gift. Our generation doesn't understand us. How could they? But some of the adults do. They don't have my power or your intellect, but they have something we both haven't gained yet. Life experience makes us not only stronger and wiser, but it gives you a perspective of many things. They might not understand you completely, but they can sure come close to us. Shikamaru smiled at Naruto's words. There wasn't anyone close to how good Naruto could understand him. He had to admit that this was one of the happiest days in his life. Gone was his boring everyday life. Naruto had made his week to one of the most tiring, but at the same time to one of the most amazing he ever had. A small tear ran down his cheek as he realized that this person was going to leave his life again. Naruto, to his shock, just took his face with one hand and wiped the tear away with his thumb. It's okay, Shikamaru, crying doesn't make us weak, Naruto said. You're the only person that understands me, the only friend that knows under what kind of burden I live. You are also the only one I have that understands me to this level, but be sure to not push your other friends away. It's not their fault that they can't understand us. We all should be children and not potential weapons. I know that your burden is big. You will one day be Konoha's strategist, and you will send some of your classmates into their deaths, but never forget that you are the person that also saves countless lives, okay? Sure, Shikamaru replied, a little depressed. Okay, just give it time to think about. Now take your shirt off, so I can give you your present. Shikamaru's head exploded red, but he did as he was told. Taking his shirt off, Naruto noted that Shikamaru was lean. No, screw that. He was thin with no muscle mass at all. What the fuck is this body, Shikamaru? Look at you. A strong gust of wind could knock you off. You are going to be a ninja. You need muscles. Did you forget what I said about chakra system and body health? Naruto asked with an irritated face. No, I did not. It's just too troublesome to work out. Now here is how this works. If you still have this body when I come back, then you can be sure that I make your life hell. Understood? Naruto asked dangerously. Yes, sir, the answer flew out without thinking, and they both blushed a little. Good. Now turn around, I want to draw a seal on your back. Shikamaru wordlessly turned around and tried not to move. This seal will help you grow faster. It will help you with the adults, when you are at least in shoulder height. It works slower as mine, so you will be just a bit taller as the rest. When you hit 12 you will have the height of 13-year-old. I will slow mine down, so that I will have the height of a 14-year-old bordering to 15. Thanks Naruto. So you will be gone for 2 years? Yes, I will come back in about 2 years. I want to go to Ueshiage-kure, it's the village of my clan. It's mostly destroyed now, but I hope to find more knowledge about Fuuin Jutsu and seals there, so I will leave 2 instructions. 1. Never ever use a seal or Fuuin Jutsu without me controlling it before. 2. Train this body of yours. No girl gonna want you if you stay like this. Shut up, troublesome blonde Shikamaru said, putting his shirt back on. Until in 2 years, goodbye my friend. Goodbye. And with that Naruto was gone. Later the day in the council room, Shikaka has probably already told you, but I'm here to give you my punishment. Naruto could see some ridiculous faces, but to his amazement they all kept quiet. For undermining my power and authority as clan head, I have decided that I won't give Kanoan any of my new seals I have created. I will also have the missions I wanted to make, and lastly I will not go to Kiri and get the 3 tails, Isabu, for Konoha like I planned. Any objections to my punishment? It was clear that this was a rhetorical question, but it seemed some civilian didn't get the message. Now this is too much. I can understand Kiri and having your missions, but you are our seal master and should provide us with these. Most of them didn't voice it, but they thought the same. You all didn't understand what you did, don't you? Let me enlighten you. My sealing technique is my clan jutsu, my bloodline. You tried to steal that away. That would be like you go to the Hyuga compound and rip one of them and I out. The only difference is that you would have something way more powerful with my jutsus than a simple Byakugan. He was interrupted was Hayashi. Hyuga slammed his hand on the table. What do you mean simple? Our clan is the strongest clan in Konoha because of these eyes, he said, angry at the insult, and yet you can't beat me. I could destroy a whole village with just one of my seals. I made a seal that makes me complete immune to genjutsus, and with immune I mean that they didn't take hold at all. True, your eyes can see truth the genjutsu, but it can still be casted over you. That means that someone on Uchi's level could put you in one. My seal will not even allow it, and most importantly my seal can be put on by all our forces. They didn't know how to react. They seriously had lost a war-changing technique. They wanted to know more about seals and yet got even further away than before. Don't be ridiculous, these seals are from high importance for the village. It would allow a war with other villages and with that increasing our territory. Hokage-sama, you should order him to give us the seals, it's a security matter now, Danzo said. They all looked nervously at the Hokage until they heard a small laugh coming from Naruto. Ha ha ha, what a fool you are, Danzo. If the Hokage wants it, then he will have to force me, and the time for this is long gone. I doubt that the old man has the will nor the power to fight me. I also will make one thing clear, should Konoha start a war that isn't necessary, then I will not hesitate to wipe this council from the face of earth for the greedy bastards you are. Most of them couldn't help but gulp at the threat. I will give Shikakanaru my vote in the time I'm gone. I put my trust into you, Shikaku. You won't destroy my trust in you a second time, will you? Naruto asked with a smile. Yay, he could definitely forgive this guy. Of course not, Shikaku said with his own smile. They watched as Naruto jumped out of the window, landing on a wolf's and right away with it. Thank you for watching.